Many people believe that if money hasn't arrived, it means they've been rejected. They think that financial delay is a sign of failure, a message from the universe that says, you are not worthy. But the truth is the opposite. Delay is not denial. A delay is not rejection. It is a sacred preparation raising your frequency and aligning you with the flow of abundance. For Neville Goddard, it is precisely within this delay that the affirmation I am becomes the bridge moving you from a state of lack to the state of already having. And if you watch this entire video, you will not only learn how to pray for a financial breakthrough, you will learn how to declare I am, according to Neville's method, turning delay into a leap into wealth. Many people pray for money for prosperity, but unconsciously they plant seeds of lack. They speak prayers with their mouths, but their hearts tremble with fear. Will it be enough? Will I be heard? What if God says no? Neville Goddard once said, "You do not get what you want. You get what you are." This statement is like a mirror reflecting a truth few dare to face. Your outer reality is not a reflection of shallow wishes, but an honest mirror of your inner identity. 1. Financial foundation begins with consciousness. Imagine you want to build a skyscraper. The first thing engineers do is not to erect dazzling floors, but to dig deep into the earth and lay massive concrete foundations. If the foundation is weak, the building will collapse when storms come. Your finances are the same. If you want to build a wealthy, sustainable life, the first foundation is not working extra hours, finding new opportunities, or hoping to win the lottery. The true foundation lies in your state of consciousness. This consciousness is the combination of what you believe, what you feel, and what you identify as yourself. If you believe money is hard to earn, if you feel anxious every time you think about bills, if you identify yourself as someone who always struggles, then no matter how much you pray, your financial building is being built on sand, not on rock. 2. The common mistake. Building on fear. Notice how many people pray. They come before God, but inside their hearts is a voice. Lord, please don't let me lack anymore. Please don't let me lose my job. Please don't let me fall into debt. These words may sound devout, but in truth they affirm fear, not faith. This is the foundation of sand. The more you build, the more it trembles. The more you pray, the more anxious you feel. Neville called this praying like a beggar. When you pray from fear, you are affirming that you lack, that you do not have, that you are far from wealth. And the universe, which only responds to frequency, will return exactly what you are vibrating, more lack. 3. Laying a new foundation with I am. So how do you build a solid foundation? The answer lies in two simple yet most powerful words in any language: I am. When you say I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am provided for, you are no longer begging from lack. You are establishing identity from fullness. Remember, I am is not a promise for the future. It is a present tense declaration. It tells your subconscious that wealth exists now within you, and from this identity a strong financial structure can rise. Neville explained I am is the doorway. When you say I am, you are invoking the presence of God in you. You are not merely changing words. You are resetting your entire foundation. 4. Practicing the new foundation. Suppose you are facing financial hardship, unpaid bills, unstable work, a shrinking bank account. By old habit, you might exclaim, I'm so poor. I have nothing. I don't know when things will get better. But from now on, try a different way. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Imagine yourself standing on a solid foundation like a mighty building in the heart of the city. Whisper, I am abundant. Feel that statement not as a wish, but as a foundational truth. 5. From foundation to breakthrough. No foundation is built in a single day. It requires consistency. But once the foundation is firm, no storm can shake it. Financial breakthrough is not a random miracle. It is the inevitable result of restructuring the foundation of consciousness. And the starting point is always I am. When you say I am wealthy, you are not merely speaking to yourself. You are declaring to the universe that the foundation is ready. And when the foundation is ready, the building of prosperity will begin to rise. Have you ever noticed that throughout your life you are constantly talking to yourself? Sometimes you whisper in your mind, "I'm so tired." Or when facing difficulties you mutter, "I'll never get out of this." These seemingly harmless words are in fact declarations you unknowingly plant into your subconscious. Neville Goddard emphasized, "The words I am are potent. They are the presence of God within you. Every time you utter I am, you awaken a vast creative force, and that force does not distinguish right or wrong, positive or negative. It only knows yes. It will turn whatever you affirm into your reality." 1. I am, the gateway to the divine self. In the Bible, when Moses asked God, "What is your name?" God replied, "I am that I am." This was not merely an answer, but a revelation. The essence of God is pure existence. Each time you say I am, you attach yourself to that essence. I am sick. You attach yourself to illness. I am unlucky. You attach yourself to misfortune. I am broke. You identify with poverty. The universe does not respond to surface wishes, but to the identity you declare. Conversely, if you affirm I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am favored, you open the gateway of the divine self and allow the energy of wealth to flow into reality. 2. Words shape reality. Modern psychologists call this a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe in something, you behave in ways that make it come true. Examples. A person who keeps saying I'm bad at managing money will spend recklessly and indeed become bad at managing money. A person who declares I'm lucky in finances will unconsciously seek and choose better opportunities, and their finances will grow. Neville went further. He said this is not just a psychological effect, but a divine law. The subconscious and the universe respond directly to the I am language you use. 3. The vibration of I am. Imagine every word you speak as a musical note vibrating in space. When you say I am abundant, you emit a note of abundance. When you repeat it, that melody becomes your dominant resonance, and the universe begins to harmonize with it. Conversely, if you often say I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, the frequency you emit is exhaustion, lack, and misfortune, and the universe faithfully plays back the same tune. That's why I am declarations are not wordplay. They are the music of your soul. 4. Practicing I am for finances. Try a small morning ritual. As soon as you wake up, before touching your phone, close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and say aloud or whisper, I am wealthy. I am divinely provided for. I am overflowing with abundance. Feel these statements as present truth, not future wishes. At first, your old mind will resist. But I'm not rich. My account is overdrawn. Don't worry. This is only dust on the mirror of consciousness. Keep wiping it clean with I am declarations, and the mirror will gradually reflect a new image. 5. Illustrative story. One of Neville's students shared that she kept affirming, I am prosperous. I am a magnet for money even while in debt and unsure how to cope. After a few weeks, she received an unexpected sum from a distant relative. Then a new job opportunity opened up just when she needed it. Neville explained that this was not magic in a superstitious sense. It is natural law. When your identity changes, reality must follow. 6. Common mistakes in practice. Many try I am declarations but quit quickly because of mechanical repetition, reciting by rote without feeling. Inner conflict, saying I am wealthy while trembling with fear of bills. Impatience, expecting results in a few days instead of allowing the new frequency to gradually shape reality. Neville emphasized the key is not how many times you say it, but the feeling you infuse when you say it. One affirmation with full belief is stronger than 100 empty repetitions. 7. The key. Make I am your identity. Finally, remember I am is not a tool to experiment with. It is a new identity to live from. You don't just say I am wealthy. You think, act, and decide as a wealthy person. You don't just declare I am abundant. You walk, communicate, and radiate abundance from your very energy. When I am becomes identity, every action and experience in your life will automatically align with that identity. I am declarations are the language of creation. They do not merely change psychology, they shape energy vibration and ultimately your financial reality. Say to yourself, I am prosperous, and let the universe say yes. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever prayed like this? Have you ever sat in the middle of the night, eyes wet with tears, whispering, God, please help me pay this debt. I'm so desperate. Or perhaps you have pleaded, please give me one chance, just once. It's a very common image, a small trembling human standing before an all-powerful God, hoping he might be moved to grant a little luck. But Neville Goddard said, that is not prayer, that is begging. 1. The difference between an heir and a beggar. The beggar always thinks of themselves as lacking, unworthy, and needing to plead for a small act of mercy. The heir knows the inheritance already belongs to them, and simply signs to receive it. Do you see the difference in inner posture? When you pray like a beggar, you unintentionally affirm I do not have. I am not worthy. I must be granted something. And that belief keeps you in poverty. But when you pray like an heir, you affirm wealth already exists. I am merely receiving what is rightfully mine. This is the empowered stance Neville wants you to step into. 2. Why begging backfires. Some may protest. But I really need money urgently. If I don't ask, how will God know? Neville explained. The issue is not whether God knows, but which state you are identifying with. If you keep pleading, you are holding yourself in the state of lack. The universe reflects that state and sends you more experiences of lack. In other words, praying like a beggar equals affirming poverty. 3. How an heir prays. An heir does not cry or beg. An heir gives thanks. Imagine you receive notice that you've inherited a mansion, a vineyard, and a bank account overflowing with money. Would you go to court, kneel, and plead, please give me that mansion. Please give me some of the money. Of course not. You simply sign and step in to claim it. Prayer works the same way. The heir says, Father, I thank you that the wealth is already mine. I know the heavenly treasure is open, and I simply receive it. They pray with certainty, not vague hope. 4. Illustrative story. A woman once came to Neville complaining that after years of prayer, her finances never changed. Neville asked, when you pray, do you feel as if you have already received? She replied, no. I just ask him to give to me. Neville said, that is why you have not received. You continually affirm the state of lack. From now on, pray as though you have already received. She changed her way of praying. Instead of begging, she began to say, thank you, Lord, for the wealth I already have. Thank you for the prosperity flowing to me. Within weeks, she received an unexpected inheritance from a distant relative, something she had never imagined. 5. Prayer equals imagination plus feeling. Neville defined prayer as the feeling of the fulfilled desire. When you sit and feel as though you already have it, that is the prayer of an heir. When you ask to be given, that is the voice of a beggar. The difference lies in the inner emotion. If you say I am wealthy, but still feel anxious, that is not true prayer. If you sit quietly, breathe deeply, and feel peaceful as though your bank account is already full, that is powerful prayer. 6. Practice exercise. Each day try this ritual. Sit quietly in a calm space. Close your eyes and imagine opening your banking app, seeing the balance you desire. Feel the joy, relief, and gratitude. Whisper, I am wealthy. Thank you, Father, for your endless provision. Repeat until the feeling becomes real to you. This is not pretending. It is rehearsing a new state. And when the inner state changes, the outer reality must follow. 7. Common mistakes. Praying in fear, saying I trust you while the heart races over unpaid bills. Pray then cancel, giving thanks then 5 minutes later, sighing, I don't know when money will come. This is like planting a seed and digging it up to check if it sprouted. Praying as a test, thinking I'll try this to see if it works, which is doubt from the start. Neville said faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. Once you pray as an heir, you stay loyal to that unseen reality and do not withdraw your belief. 8. Make prayer a lifestyle. An heir does not pray only for 10 minutes in the morning. They live as though what they desire is already theirs. When shopping, they do not think I'm poor, I can't afford this. They think I always have enough. Money comes right on time. In conversation, they do not complain about lack. They speak of opportunities and abundance. When facing challenges, they do not panic. They remain calm like someone who knows their assets are safe in the bank. That is exactly the spirit of an heir. Here's a shocking truth few dare to face. Money doesn't come from your job. Money doesn't come from your boss. Money doesn't come from luck or random opportunities. Money flows from the state of consciousness you maintain. Neville Goddard calls this the law of assumption. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you are. 1. Why inner state matters more than action. Think of a time when you worked yourself to exhaustion, sacrificed everything yet barely moved ahead financially. Meanwhile, someone else seemed to glide with ease and ended up wealthy. This isn't unfair, it's law. You cannot hold on the outside what you deny on the inside. If deep down you see yourself as small, lacking, anxious, you can juggle 3 jobs and still only scrape by. But if inwardly you identify with abundance, opportunities and resources will begin to flow as a natural reflection of that state. 2. The lottery loser. Studies show most poor lottery winners return to poverty within a few years. Why? Because outside money can't outgrow the financial blueprint inside them. If they secretly believe I'm bad with money, they will unconsciously find ways to lose it. If they feel unworthy of wealth, the money will slip away. Breakthroughs don't come from windfalls, they come from a new inner identity. 3. Inner identification. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as Neville teaches, means think, feel, and act now as the person who already possesses what you desire. If you want financial freedom, allow yourself to feel free even if your bank account hasn't caught up. The inner state is the blueprint. Reality is the printout. 4. A 3D printer for life. Imagine a 3D printer. The design file equals your inner state. The object it prints equals your outer world. Change the file and the output must change. No new filament, no new speed setting can override the design. 5. Neville's nightly method before sleep. Lie still and breathe deeply. Imagine a scene that proves your financial breakthrough, opening a bank app with a large balance, hearing a loved one congratulate you. Feel the joy, relief, and confidence as if it were now. Drift into sleep, carrying that feeling into the subconscious. Your subconscious, directly addressed during sleep, becomes a magnet for the matching reality. 6. Test your alignment. Ask yourself, when someone shares their success, do you feel inspired or envious? When you see a bill, do you feel peace or fear? When you hear making money is easy, do you believe or scoff? Your reactions reveal whether you're aligned with wealth or lack. 7. Neville's reminder. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. You don't need to force external change. Change the self you believe you are, and the world will rearrange. 8. The creative power of I am. Every word you speak after I am is a living prayer. Neville declared, the 2 most powerful words are, I am, because whatever you attach to them becomes your reality. How often do you casually say, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky? Your subconscious never argues. It simply accepts and builds your world from these commands. When Moses asked God his name, the answer was, I am that I am. Every I am you utter taps the divine creative power within. 9. Transform your I am. Step 1. Awareness. Notice the I am statements you repeat. Step 2. Reverse. Replace them with abundant declarations. Step 3. Feel. Don't just say it. Feel it as present reality. Sample affirmations. I am wealthy beyond measure. I am a magnet for money and opportunities. I am divinely guided in every financial decision. I am worthy of overflow and prosperity. I am living my breakthrough now. 10. I am versus I want. Saying I want more money keeps you in the state of wanting. Saying I am wealthy commands the subconscious to organize reality around the fact of wealth. 11. The light switch analogy. When you enter a dark room, you don't beg for light. You flip the switch. I am is that switch. It affirms. It does not plead. It knows. Stop saying I am broke. Say instead I am blessed financially. Stop saying I am unlucky. Declare I am divinely favored. Stop saying I am struggling. Replace with I am thriving in every way. Each morning stand before a mirror, look straight into your own eyes, and repeat at least 5 I am declarations of wealth. You don't need to shout, just speak with certainty, feeling, and belief. As Neville Goddard emphasized, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and continue therein. Embrace the feeling of your desire already fulfilled and remain in it. Neville's living proof. Neville's power lay not in theory, but in experience. During the 1930s-40s in New York, he was a struggling actor, no wealth, no special connections. Yet he possessed one priceless treasure, the power of imagination. The Barbados trip. Neville longed to visit his family in Barbados, but lacked the money for an expensive ocean voyage. Instead of worrying each night before sleep, he felt himself already there, touching the window frames of his family home, hearing the ocean, breathing the tropical air. He didn't think someday. He lived I'm there now. Weeks later, his brother unexpectedly sent him the funds for the trip. No planning, no logical source, just the natural outworking of his state. Release from military duty. Drafted into World War II. Neville again turned inward. Night after night, he imagined the relief of being honorably discharged. Soon, a series of coincidences led to his release, perfectly legal, perfectly timed. For Neville, these weren't miracles. They were the law of consciousness expressing itself. How you apply this. Today, SATS, the gateway before sleep. Neuroscience now confirms what Neville called the state akin to sleep. SATS, just before sleep, your brain enters alpha, theta waves, prime time to program the subconscious. Use 5 to 10 minutes to imagine your wish fulfilled. Feel the scene as present reality. Thinking from not of. Don't merely think about your goal. Think from it. Ask, if I already had this, how would I feel tonight? How would I eat, walk, breathe? Live from that identity. Daily I Am Journal. Each morning or night, write and feel declarations such as, I am living in overflowing wealth. I am loved and valued. I am divinely guided in every decision. Redirect negative imagination. Notice when you picture failure or loss. Pause. Replace the scene with one of success, healing, abundance. Mini-SATs. Throughout the day. Take 30 to 60 seconds on a bus at a red light to close your eyes and inhabit the desired state. Each seed planted repeatedly reshapes reality. The inner switch. Every thought after I am is a command to your subconscious. Speak lack and you grow lack. Speak abundance and you summon abundance. Neville's challenge is simple yet radical. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part in its fulfillment. Tonight before sleep, choose one desire. Imagine it done. Feel it real. Sleep in that state. You don't pray to get. You pray to become. When you become, the outer world has no choice but to mirror you.